roll call. Tom Gage,
Here.
Veronica Roundtree, here. Jordan Corbin, not here. William Wainwright,
Here.
Lalita Berrien,
Present.
Ryan Duke.
Here.
Okay. We need approval of the minutes from the last hearing in December. Do we have
A motion to approve minutes.
motion by Mr. Wainwright? Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Duke. Vote?
Yes.
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 We have approval of the minutes from last meeting. Now we need to swear in the witnesses.
Can we start on page 18, the first one?
You gotta get sworn in first.
Oh, sorry. Can you please stand and raise your right hand? Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can have it. On page 18, the top one on 2001 George Jenkins Boulevard.
Okay. Case number, last four, 2371 at the top of the page of page 18. Enforcement Officer Angela Kaiser.
Angela Kaiser, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 20-02371, address is 2001 George Jenkins Boulevard, owners listed as Wabash Center Associates LLC. The violations are for Section 86-3, for Section 86-4, for Section 86 through 36B, and Section 86 through 36A.
Okay.
Date of the violation was May 5th, 2020. The December 11th, 2020 order was by summary disposition that the respondent admits the violation and requests additional time to compel and waives any defenses to the violations, and they'll have until January 10th, 2021 to comply, or a $30 per day fine may be imposed. The Affidavit of Non-Compliance was effective January 11th, 2021. And at this time, the city would recommend imposing the fine of $30 per day effective January 11th, 2021 and run until the property is brought into compliance.
The owner here, it says Wabash Center Associates LLC. Would you state your name?
Hi, my name is Wes Tool, and I'm an agent for Wabash Center Associates.
Okay. So you're the agent for the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You heard the recommendations. What do you have to say?
We are actively working to get it cleaned up and brought into compliance, and I'm working with Officer Kaiser. She's been very helpful, and so I expect to have it done very shortly. And I understand that the fines and that I didn't bring it in compliance in time, so understanding that I'm going to be fined, and I'm going to get it cleaned up and worked out as fast as possible.
I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Mr. Duke.
Madam Chair, just for the record, Board Member Jordan Corbin was seated for the beginning of this case.
Okay, Jordan Corbin showed up, so he's here present for the meeting, that we record that. Okay, can we vote?
Yes.
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 Motion has been accepted and approved.
I was just informed there was there's a secondary case that he's here for on the bottom of page 19 also.
Bottom of page 19. Case, last four numbers, 4685, 4226 Old Road 37. Again, the owners are Palm Center Associates, LLC. Can you state your name?
My name is Wes Tool, and I'm the registered agent for Palm Center Associates.
Okay. Enforcement Officer, Senor Marshall?
Saniqua Marshall,
Saniqua Marshall.
Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland. This is for case LCE 20-04685 at 4226 Old Road 37. Owner listed is Palm Center Associates LLC. The violation is for ordinance 4131, section 1 and 2 for minimum maintenance standards. A summary disposition was signed, giving the respondent until January 10th, 2021 to comply or a $30 per day fine be imposed. An affidavit of non-compliance was effective on January 11th, 2021. The city recommends to comply by to impose a $30 per day fine effective on January 11th, 2021, and run until compliance is met.
You have heard the court's recommendation. Anything you have to say?
Again, I'm working with Officer Marshall, and I expect to have everything in compliance before the end of the week. I have a vendor that's scheduled to be there tomorrow. They've done most of the work, but there are the last couple of things that they're going to be finishing up tomorrow. So I have talked with Officer Marshall, and we'll be in compliance before the end of the week. So I understand the fine, and we'll work to get it resolved as fast as possible.
Okay. Board, you have heard.
I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Recommendation by Mr. Wainwright, second by Mr. Duke. We'll vote.
Okay.
Mr.
Gage.
Mr. Gage, I'm sorry. We'll vote.
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
we have heard and approved the motion that you follow the recommendations that you have went forward with. Are there any more cases there for him? No? Thank you.
Board for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna start on page 5, you said the first one? Patton. Hannah. You had said page 5 to start?
To what?
You had said to start at page 5
Page 5
at the top?
at the top.
Someone had to leave or something? Okay. Case number 2356 at the top of page 5, 1438 Amos Avenue. Code Enforcement Daniel Povey.
Case number LCE 19-02356. Address is 1438 Amos Avenue. Owners are Mary Elizabeth Rhodes. The violations are ordinance 5425, section 5.17.3.6, parking of commercial vehicles, trailers prohibited. Date of the violation was April 9th, 2019. The order was 07/23/19. Case shall be dismissed upon payment of $1,450. The city recommends reduction to 10% at $145. Admin costs of $224.62 for a total of $369.62 by July 26, 2021, or revert back to the original fine.
Okay. The owners, it says, is Rhodes Mary Elizabeth. Would you state your name for the case?
Andre McNeil Jr.
What was it?
Andre McNeil Jr.
Okay. And what is your position with this property?
That's my great-grandmother's property.
Okay.
So that truck, we had that truck right there. We was actually in the middle of selling that truck, in the process of selling the truck. We only thought that the truck would be, okay sitting there for a little bit till we sold it, only for the simple reason that it was trucks in the area. So didn't really know that was against the code enforcement. And then again, we didn't know anything because it wasn't any mail coming to the address. We don't have a way of knowing. The only time I find out anything is when I come here to check on the property. My uncle passed that was over the property. He ended up passing a couple months back. And like I said, it's my great-grandmother's property. And I just been kind of stepping in, trying to make sure everything's still getting taken care of.
So the mail or the notice would have gone to your uncle, you're saying?
It wasn't going to no address,
Okay.
as far as I know.
Yeah.
So we never knew anything about anything. But we did get it sold, and I think the truck didn't sit a whole month.
So you say you didn't get a notice?
Well, no, we didn't. We never got a notice, as far as I know.
So there's no one live at this?
No, there's no house. You know, the house burnt down. Yeah, so.
So I see returned mail, okay. So is there anything that you're asking of the court?
Well, I want to, you know, dismiss the fines, and that's really it. I know I still gotta, some kind of way I gotta figure out how I'm gonna pay them for cutting the grass. I know we still owe for the grass. So I had them to stop cutting the grass. I never knew any of this until I knocked the shed down a couple years ago.
Okay.
So that was me doing all this work, not knowing anything about anything.
So where were the notices going?
To this?
Just to this address?
The mail was going to 1438 Amos Avenue, Apartment M, but they were coming back.
Because there's no apartment.
Yeah,
That's a house.
Right, so.
It was a house.
So we didn't know that he was involved in it until we added him on for the reconsideration request hearing. So that's when he was added to the case.
Okay. And so now he's in there for any future mailings, he'll receive those?
Just on this case, unless he wants to be added to all
You
the.
can't add me to it because I'm the one taking care of everything. Nobody else haven't stepped up to do anything, so.
So then will there be other cases heard for reconsideration today?
I mean, I can add him on for any future cases.
I didn't know if there were gonna be more that he'd have to,
Yeah, he said something about grass. Is it another case again?
Yeah, they come to find out, my uncle, before he died, told me that they owe for the grass. There was something about the grass being cut, so I'm guessing they owe like a little over $500.
okay. So it was another case open and the city was,
I think that's closed. That's closed now.
okay.
And I don't know now. I mean, y'all can tell me everything else while I'm here, so I know. Cause this all I know about.
Yeah, I'm more just curious if you didn't receive notification or notice, and we tried but didn't get anywhere.
It's a common problem for the city when folks pass away and we don't know where to send the notices. The statute says we can rely on the records of the property appraiser. Typically, when a death certificate is recorded, the property appraiser will automatically say that the property's in the estate of whoever the decedent is, and then we'll continue to mail notice to that same address, even though we know that that person isn't alive anymore. The Supreme Court has opined on a similar situation where they've said that as long as the city takes a reasonable effort to make sure that notice is given, then that's all we're obligated to do. Typically, we will post the violation notice onto the property as well, and the Supreme Court has recognized that as sufficient notice in these kinds of situations. So I'm not sure if that happened here or what, but what the courts say is that people posting onto the properties should be sufficient.
Certainly, okay.
Well, my great-grandmother is still living. It was her son that passed.
Got it.
He was over everything, so.
Okay.
And when it comes down to the other cases with the grass cutting, those are listed under special assessments. That's a lot clearing.
Right.
So.
Okay.
In view of the fact that he was not aware of this fine, I make a motion that we dismiss the fines.
What about the admin costs?
So both the fine and the admin?
Fine and admin, yes.
You say it's been brought to compliance?
Yes.
It has.
And every other case that you are aware of is closed out?
This is the only case for this property
Right.
as of today. Like I said, the lot clearance for special assessment.
And we got all of his contact information for future?
Yes. All my information.
Okay, I'll second.
It has been brought, Ms. Varian, to drop all fines. Second by Mr. Wainwright. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 You have heard the motion. The case against you, all fines have been dismissed, and it is recorded as that.
Okay, I
Okay?
appreciate it.
Next. We're gonna start back at page 2, starting at the beginning now, right? Ms. Tyson?
The next case is gonna be, the 5491. It's the third case down on page 5.
Okay. Case number 5491, 823 North Florence Avenue. Code Enforcement Officer Andrew Dozier. Owner Van L. King.
Andrew Dozier, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 19-05491. The address is 823 North Florence Ave. The owner is Van L. King for violations of care of premises. The date of violation was 7/25/2019. An order was put forth on 10/27/2020 that the case shall be dismissed upon payment of $4,600. At this time, the city would recommend a reduction of fines to 10%, equaling $460, plus administrative fees of $336.43, for a total of $796.43 to be paid by 7/26/2021, or reverse back to the original amount.
Mr. King, you have heard the recommendations of the court. What do you have to say?
For one, like the gentleman just said, I don't get these notices. I haven't lived at that address since 2006. And they sent it to my aunt's address that lives behind that, where I used to live. So when I get these notices, I don't know. The only time I've got these notices, I met the officer when they changed officers. We met. He said I had cleared up everything but 2 pieces on my fence. And a couple of weeks after that, I fixed that and had a guy come and clean off my bike. And the things that's on the pictures, I've been cleaning those off. So everything should be into compliance now, really. The only letter I've gotten to my address where I live now was 2 weeks ago. When I went and told the lady about the hearing, she sent it to my house, and that's the only time I gotten it.
Pull up the, case.
Okay. Board, you have heard the recommendations. You have heard Mr. King. How do you vote? You have any questions, comments?
I make a motion that we accept the staff's recommendation.
Second that.
Motion made by Ms. Berrien, second by Mr. Duke, to accept the staff recommendation. How do we vote?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna vote yes because I think that you have you knew this was your property and that there were issues. All this stuff is closed out from what I understand. So this is just outstanding for the time that it was not in compliance. So I'll vote yes.
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 You have heard the motions. It is voted that we go with the staff recommendations. I see you have another case below it.
Andrew Dozier, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 19-05492. The address is 823 North Florence Ave. The owner is Van L. King for violations of fence condition. The date of violation is 7/25/2019. An order was put forth on 10/27/2020 that the case should be dismissed upon payment of $3,600. At this time, the city would recommend reduction of fines to 10%, equaling $360, plus administrative cost of $287.47, for a total of $627.47 to be paid by 7/26/2021, or reverse back to the original amount.
Sir, could you state your name for the record one more time?
Van King.
So you've heard the staff's recommendation. You have anything that you'd like to add?
All of that been corrected, everything's been corrected.
Certainly, yeah, both, yeah, both of them's been corrected before the
Yeah.
time that it was out of compliance, so you understand the recommendation.
So just real quick, so I understand, do you live at this residence?
No.
Okay, so just to make sure the mailings are going to the correct place.
No, they go to Scott, my aunt lived behind me, I used to live there. But I moved away from there in
Okay, but-
2011, yeah.
So have you corrected it with the staff to make sure that they send?
Yeah, that's it, the only letter I've gotten to where I live now for
Okay.
that property was last week.
Okay.
If I can just clarify, so I don't want to make sure everybody's on the same page
Right,
as
right.
far as what the law is, so we're not hearing the same thing over again throughout the day. But the statute says the city can rely on the tax collector's records, and so that's what the ordinary process is. What the courts have said, the only time that the city needs to go outside of what the tax collector says is if we've been put on some kind of notice that that address isn't good. Obviously, when a person dies, that could be a form of putting the city on notice that that address isn't good, which is what happened in the first case today.
Yes.
Another situation might be that that somebody's reached out and told the city that that's not the right address anymore. Only then would the city need to add an additional address apart from what's in the tax collector's records. And in all other cases, it's incumbent on the property owner to change the tax collector's records if they want the mail to go somewhere else. And the city doesn't have to hire a private investigator to track people down or find out where people live. So just make sure that we're all clear on the notice process. Thank you.
Any more comments or questions? If not, we'll vote.
Well, we have to make a motion.
Make a motion. Motion by Mr. Wainwright.
Oh, well, I was kind of sitting as chair while she was out. Can I still make a motion now? Is that okay? Okay, so I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Do you want to finish that out, or do I finish it out?
I think you do it since I made the motion.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Mr. Gage. We have a vote.
Yes.
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 The motion has been accepted and approved, and we went by the recommendations of the court. You pay $647.47, and pay it by July 26, 2021.
There's a correction there, ma'am. You said 647.
That's
It's
what it says.
actually 627.47.
In our book, we have $647.47. So which is the correct amount?
I think it's 47.
47.
Okay,
What this adds up to.
okay. Are there any more cases for Mr. King?
No, that'd be all.
Okay,
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
thank you. Our next case, case number 7517.
We're gonna go past that one.
Are we gonna pass that one? Okay.
Next one's on page 9, the second one down.
Case number 3840, 2817 Catherine Avenue. Owner Polly U.S. Lena. Code Enforcement Officer Stephen Willis.
Stephen Willis, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland. Case number is LC 19-03840. Address is 2817 Catherine Avenue. Owners listed as Lena Paulus. Violation is ordinance 3947, Chapter 3. For exterior violations, the date of violation was May 31st, 2019. The October 27th, 2020 order was that the individual took summary disposition and that this case would be continued to the January 26, 21 Code Enforcement Board. I did an Affidavit of Non-Compliance on March 9th, 2020. I met with the respondent just before the hearing, and she's on the waiting list for the Rebuild Florida. So we're going to ask, city recommends to continue this case to the February 23, 21 Code Board.
You have heard the recommend,
No, she talked to him before.
did?
So I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
And, it has been, voted by Mr. Wainwright, second by Lolita Berrien. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 Okay. It has been voted and approved that we give extension. Next case, 7343 at the bottom of page 9, 413 Plum Street. Code Enforcement Officer Christian Perry. The owners are Terry L. Baldwin.
Christian Perry, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 19-07343. Property address is 413 Plum Street. The owner is Terry Baldwin. Violation of Ordinance 3947, Chapter 3 for roof structurally sound and maintained. Date of violation of September 27, 2019, and the order on November 6, 2020. The respondents signed summary disposition. Yeah, November 6, 2020, the respondents signed summary disposition. We filed an affidavit of non-compliance effective January 6, 2021, and photos on November 19, 2021 shows the property is still in violation. The city recommends a $30 per day fine be imposed effective January 6, 2021 and run until brought into compliance.
State your name for the case.
Terry Baldwin.
Okay, and your position with the property?
I own it.
Okay. You have heard the recommendations of the court. What do you have to say?
I don't agree with it. Because when Mr. Perry came out there, I had to show him that my car ran. He told me to fix the board on the right side in the front of the house, fix the board on the left side of the house, and go to the back there where that satellite is and take that piece of weather stripping that FEMA put up there and didn't fix my house. And I did that. He didn't say nothing about the top paper on the top. If I'd have known that, I'd have had it done yesterday. The boards on the side of the house have done been cut off, done been fixed. But that right there, didn't nobody say nothing about that. I'd have had my grandson to take it up.
Okay, so the affidavit of non-compliance is the 6th of January. So some of the things, it sounds like, Mr. Perry, he addressed, or no?
I wouldn't know because I can only see what I can see from the road, but I haven't been called back out for an inspection.
Okay.
And there was edges of the soffits that needed to be repaired as well. That's a wrong property picture. But on the other pictures that were
That's
shown,
not my house
Yeah,
there.
Correct.
Yeah, he corrected it.
But ain't nobody pulled nothing off of that house.
Okay, so what we're looking at here?
correct, that's not patched up properly.
Okay, so you're talking about the roll roof.
Correct.
Okay,
I didn't know about that.
that's okay. So I'm trying to help make sure that we are all on the same page.
And I haven't been brought back out to look at the soffits and the fascia from what we did discuss they need to be corrected.
Okay,
Didn't I say something?
certainly.
It was fixed yesterday.
Right, except for he's saying, so I think that's what I'm trying to make sure that you guys are on the same page. So that roll roof, and he didn't tell you, that's fine. That roll roof, or didn't make clear, is not in compliance. So that's got to be dealt with as well. Otherwise, no matter how many things you do fix, if that one thing is not fixed, your roof is still going to show that it's not in compliance. Does that make sense?
I understand.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, wasn't nothing said about the roof.
Right. So
So I didn't know about whether the roof, I thought it was okay.
I got you. So I think what I'm gonna suggest, and I'll make a motion after, is that you get with Mr. Perry, let him come out and show you everything again, and then I would make a motion to continue the case to the February 20, whatever it is, the next code enforcement meeting, so that you have another month to make sure you got a list of things that need to be fixed, and then address those things, and then you can come back before us, and if it's all good, then it's all good.
I'm fine with
So that's my motion, so we'll.
Second.
February 23rd.
So you,
23rd. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to continue his case until February 23rd, Code Board.
motion has been made by Mr. Wainwright, second by Mr. Gage. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved that you have, extension until next month to come back.
So, Mr. Baldwin, I would encourage you right after this to touch base with Mr. Perry again. Make sure you contact him as soon as he can get out there to check it out, give you the list of things that need to be fixed, and then go from there.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give me a call and I'll show up.
Next case is on page 16. Is that right? Okay. At the bottom of page 16, last four, 2066, 1930 East Main Street. Owners Ruby L. Argersinger. Code Enforcement Officer Christian Perry.
Yeah, right there, man. Christian Perry, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 20-02066, property address 1930 East Main Street. Owner is Ruby L. Argersinger. Violation of ordinance 4134, section 1, derelict vehicle. Date of violation of March 13, 2020, and the order on December 11, 2020 states that the property is still in violation, and they have until December 21st, 2020 for total compliance, or a $50 per day fine be imposed. Filed an affidavit of non-compliance on December 22nd, 2020, and photos on January 19th, 2021 show the property is still in violation. City recommends that a $50 per day fine be imposed effective December 22nd, 2020, and run until brought into compliance.
Okay. State your name for the case.
Yes, Ruby L. Argersinger.
Okay, you have heard.
I'm
the-
sorry?
You have heard what the court has to say concerning the property?
Yes, I've been trying very hard. I've got the little camper sold and gone. The big camper, he's supposed to bring the money either today or tomorrow, or yesterday, and drive that one off the property. And the DeSoto, 1954 DeSoto is gonna be taken off at least by this weekend and put in storage. And the junk in the yards is being cleaned up, but our trailer broke, so we had to fix the trailer to finish carrying the stuff off the yard and taking it to the dump.
The junk will be for the
Vehicles.
And it's been a long time. But I've been trying very hard.
So you said the 19th, Christian, it was still out of compliance. Did you see some of those vehicles moved, or any?
The only thing I was able to see is one of the two RVs are still there, one of the two campers. Progress is being made on the derelict vehicle case, but it is still in violation.
Is there anything you're asking of the court?
I've just been trying very hard to get rid of them, get sold.
Okay. Board, you have heard. Is there any recommendations or comments?
I just think because there's still, you haven't nailed down like exact plans for everything, that I'm gonna make a motion to accept the staff recommendation in hopes that as soon as it's done, you can call Mr. Perry and have him come back and check and make sure that everything's out. So that's my motion.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Mr. Berrien. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
Yes.
I made a motion to accept the staff recommendation to impose the fine. So yes.
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 Okay.
And then as soon as you get rid of all of them, make sure you let Mr. Perry know. Okay.
There's two more cases.
Yeah, more cases.
Two more cases.
Page 17.
Okay. At the top of page 17, 2070 1930 East Main Street. Code Enforcement Officer Christian Perry.
Christian Perry, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 20-02070. Property address 1930 East Main Street. Owner is Ruby L. Argersinger. Violation of Ordinance 3947, care of premises. Date of violation is March 13, 2020. In the order on December 11, 2020, say the respondent shall have until December 21st, 2020 for total compliance or a $50 per day fine be imposed. Filed affidavit of non-compliance effective December 22nd, 2020, and photos on January 19th, 2021 shows the property is still in violation. City recommends a $50 per day fine be imposed effective December 22nd, 2020 and run until brought into compliance.
Okay. State your name again.
Ruby L. Argersinger.
Okay, you have heard the orders from the court. What do you have to say concerning that?
Then I'm gonna get it all cleaned up and get out of there.
Okay.
Get it out of there.
Board.
So I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Ms. Berrien. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 Okay. It has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendation. Next case below it. Did you have another one here?
Yes, one more.
2091 1935 East Main Street. Code Enforcement Officer Christian Perry.
Christian Perry, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 20-02091. Property address is 1935 East Main Street. Violation of, owner is Ruby L. Argersinger. Violation of Ordinance 3947, care of premises. Date of violation of March 17, 2020, and the order on December 11, 2020 states that the respondent shall have until December 21st, 2020 for total compliance or a $50 per day fine be imposed. Affidavit of non-compliance was effective December 22nd, 2020, and photos on January 19th, 2021 shows the property is still in violation. City recommends a $50 per day fine be imposed effective December 20th, 2020 and run until brought into compliance.
Okay. You have heard the recommendations from the court. State your name again for the code.
Ruby L. Argersinger.
Okay. What do you have to say?
Well, I've hired 3 roofers and all 3 of them don't come up to do their work. So
Ma'am.
I've got to hire another person.
Yeah, ma'am, that's a different case. We're talking about the grounds case at 1935.
This is just a new address.
Yes, yeah, that one.
The new address. Yeah.
The stuff is being held off.
Got it. So I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright. Second by Ms. Berrien. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendations. Okay, thank you, ma'am. I don't think you have any other.
That was it? Okay.
Okay. Next case. Next case is 2244 at the bottom of the page, 1517 Hallam Court North. Code Enforcement Officer, is that Tim Clay?
Dennis Brown.
Dennis Browning. Someone put Tim Clay in there. Okay.
Oh, maybe that's who's coming.
Who's coming for the case for LRT Investments LLC? Okay. Okay. Code Enforcement Officer.
Dennis, Dennis Browning, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland. This is case LCE 20-02244. The address 1517 Hallam Court North. The owner is LRT Investments LLC. Property was cited for violation of Ordinance 4134 for derelict vehicles. The owner on 12/11/2020 signed summary disposition, agreeing to have the property in compliance by January the 10th. The property remains in violation as of an inspection on January the 20th, 2021. Staff's recommendation is to impose a $30 per day fine effective January the 11th, 2021 to run until the property is brought into compliance.
Okay. You have heard the court's recommendation. State your name.
Timothy Clay.
Okay. What do you have to say, Mr. Clay?
Well, first of all, I don't own the vehicles. They're my tenants. So I've been having some difficulties with it. Had the tenant agree to let me get rid of the Magnum, which is one of the cars that was in front, and that was donated to breast cancer research last week, and it's gone. The other one, and I believe there's only 2 cars that are out of compliance. That green one is one of them. That one is supposed to be sold. As a backup, I rented a garage, empty garage, and I'll have it towed if the person who supposedly bought it doesn't show up this week. So what I would ask is that I be given a 10-day extension to resolve these issues.
Board, you have heard what the defendant has to say. What do you think? What are your comments?
So you got rid of the black Magnum out front. You donated that one.
That's gone.
And you saw and the green car needs to be supposed to be sold.
Correct. She said if it wasn't sold, that I could do what I want with it. So I rented a garage.
And there are only 2 cars. Those are the only 2 not in compliance.
As far as I know.
Yeah, there's 2 cars in the driveway. The car that's under the tarp now that's parked in the street, I believe, I don't know because it's covered with a tarp now, but I believe it was the red car that you saw with the expired tag that used to be parked in the drive.
Okay. So is that something you got a plan for too, Mr. Clay?
If that is not in compliance, I'll have that one towed away as well.
Did you say the clients were still there, the renters?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Are the tenants still living in the house?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I'll say in light of one vehicle being moved and it sounds like a plan for the other 2, I'll make a motion to continue the case till the February 23rd Code Enforcement Board.
Second.
Motion.
Can I just, Jim Daney, Code Enforcement Manager for the City of Lakeland. I'd just like to point out that this case has been open since April 15th of last year. We sent a COVID letter last year, a courtesy letter letting the owner know that we weren't formally citing them. And then on top of that, I just want to let you know that the owner did take summary disposition, admitting to the violation and asking for more time at the hearing by the hearing officer. I just wanted to point all of that out to you.
When was the summary, I mean, I guess we can revote on my motion, but when was the summary disposition taken?
It was December the 11th.
I mean, the tenant would keep saying, I'm gonna do it, and didn't. So now I'm doing it.
It's well over 9 months for.
And I've met with the tenant out on the property as well.
So you've been working with the tenant and Mr. Clay?
Yes.
My motion can die if you'd like it to, that's fine. So make a new one.
What is your motion?
To continue to February. But Mr. Danny pointed out that the case has been open since April and.
Okay. So we need to make a new motion.
Since the motion was made and seconded, if we're going to withdraw it or change course, then both the mover and the seconder will need to withdraw.
Okay, so are we okay with that? You guys want to vote on that motion?
If you were changing, I didn't know if you were trying to.
Yeah, Mr. Corbin seconded, I forgot. Okay, so I'll withdraw my initial motion to continue the case to the February 23rd Code Enforcement Board.
I withdraw my second.
The motions have been rededicated.
Okay. The motion's withdrawn and the floor is open for more motions.
Mm-hmm.
Floor is open now for a new motion.
I'll make a motion to follow staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gage to accept staff's recommendations, second by Mr. Duke. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 Okay. It has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendations. Okay.
So then as soon as that gets done, you can just let Mr. Browning know and he'll,
I'm sorry, I couldn't
as
hear.
soon as you get the vehicles taken care of, let Mr. Browning know and he'll take care of it. And
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Page 18. Top of the page, 2371, 2001 George Jenkins Boulevard.
We already heard that one.
Page 20, top of the page, 4752, 608 West Crescent. Code Enforcement Officer Stephen Willis.
Is that one marked?
It had a tab on it.
Is there a name there?
I'll have it.
Anthony Serber.
We have one on 214 West Carver Street, the one below it.
Okay, that's what it
Are
need
you
to be on?
Anthony?
Okay. 08945. Address 214 West Carver Street. Code Enforcement Officer. It's a new officer name here. Okay.
It's gonna be Mark Yelnick.
Mark Yelman.
Yelnick.
Yelding.
Yelnick.
Yelnick.
Correct.
Mark Yelnick. Okay. The owner is Carrington Mortgage Services, LLC.
Mark Yelnick, Building Inspection Division, case number PER 19-08945, located at 214 West Carver Street. The owner is Carrington Mortgage Services. The violation is for Florida Building Code Section 105.1, permits required. The date of violation is December 6th, 2019. A summary disposition was signed. The respondent had until December 7th, 2020 to comply, or a $30 a day fine to be imposed. An affidavit of non-compliance was effective December 7th, 2020. The city recommends a fine of $30 per day, effective December 8th, 2020, and run until property is in compliance.
Okay. You have heard.
Should be December 7th.
December 7th.
I'll correct that. $30 per day, effective December 7th, 2020.
Yeah, as stated before, my name's Anthony Serber. I'm an attorney locally. I'm covering for Linder LLC, Linder Legal, and they are through Stewart Law Group. And Stewart Law Group has asked me to come here today and speak on behalf of Carrington Mortgages. My understanding is that the situation here is this is a repossessed home, and the courts, because of COVID, have suspended all actions on repossessions for sale. They have certain regulations they have to go through HUD in order to get contractors out. They have to take bids. My understanding is that process has been done, and that they're waiting for a vendor in the field. On February 8th, this is supposed to be complied with. They anticipate that the board here will enter fines. They understand that. They're asking for an opportunity, once it's corrected, to abate some of the fines or to reduce them.
Robert McGill.
Circumstances are something that really are hindered by existing regulations with HUD and the issues with foreclosure board. That's my understanding.
So the issue was they started work without pulling permits.
Correct.
Do you currently have a permit or no?
My understanding, I was trying to pull it up again, I apologize, I had it pulled up, is that, let me see if it'll work again. I've got a good signal in here, it should pull right up. I was told that it would be done by the 8th of February, and that they just need to get a commencement of approved.
Any comments from the board?
I would
Anyone?
like to make a motion that we accept the staff's recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Varian, second by Mr. Wainwright. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved with staff recommendations.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Pleasure to see you, Mr. Duke. It's been a while.
On page 21, the top of the page, 9203. Address is 1501 Ariana Street, number 4EE. Owner is Marcio Ramirez. Code enforcement officer is Mr.
Yelnick.
Mr. Yelnick.
Mark Yelnick, Building Inspection, case number PER 1909203, located at 150 Ariana Street, number 4EE. The owners are as indicated on the agenda. The violation is Florida Building Code Section 105.1, permits required. The date of violation is December 23rd, 2019. The November 6, 2020 order stated the respondent shall have until December 7th, 2020 for total compliance, or a $50 day fine may be imposed. Affidavit of non-compliance was effective on December 7th, 2020. City recommends a fine of $50 per day effective December 7th, 2020, and run until property is in compliance.
You have heard the court's recommendation. State your name.
My name is Marcelo Ramirez.
Okay, and what is your position with the property?
Well, I have to say that is compared to last time I was here, we have a bigger audience members than last time. I only spoke to one young lady and also these two fine gentlemen on my left here.
What is your position with the property?
Well, I own that mobile home.
Okay, thank you.
I own that mobile home, and we did exactly what was recommended by the hearing officer back in November, and we moved it from the vertical side the way it was before there, and we pushed it over to the side, as I suggested it to the board member, and she completely agreed on that day. I went ahead, I spent $350 for the movers to move it, and I went over and moved it as I said I was going to move it, and we both agree on that. And the reason I say that is because I also said in that conversation that day that I'm going to do the same thing. The owner who lives in 28 DD has his shed on his property.
Were you able to pull a permit for I'm assuming it's for the structure?
The thing is, I did the plans, right? And I also did had the plans. I gave it to the young lady in the front, and then I received this letter from Carlos Diaz, who I saw that day, December 7th, outside of my property. I came out to see maybe if he would, if he would talk to me or something like that, that we did everything okay, as we agreed on that day. But he spent 15 minutes outside, inside his car, and I came out, and I know he's seen me, and he did not, he just, passed by me. So I thought maybe we are okay with that. So on the 19th, I received this letter saying that we are not compliant. So I really don't know exactly where you guys want me to put this shed.
Yeah, so let's figure it out. So it sounds like...
Yeah, if I can add to this, there was a permit it's sitting there approved. It just needs to be paid.
Oh,
and the
okay.
permit
Well,
will
that's
be
wonderful.
issued.
Yeah, I'll pay for it. Yes.
There was a fee estimate that was sent to the email that was given from the permit application. It was sent out twice.
Yeah.
But it was,
Yeah.
anyway, he just needs to pay the fees and the permit can be issued.
Yeah, that would be great. I'll pay for it. I did not know that. I apologize.
And
when was the permit? Sorry, you go ahead. I was just going to ask when the permit. Do we have a date for when the permit was applied for? Was it
I don't have the date of application or the date of approval.
We should have that. We should have the permit.
I was just going to clarify for the board that when a violation is issued for work without permit, the issuance of that permit brings it into compliance. So the process of getting it inspected, of where it's located on the site or whether or not it was constructed in accordance with the building code, those are things that get dealt with through the inspections process later. So what's in front of the board is whether or not there was a permit for the work.
Right. Thank you.
You need to open up the BLD case. I don't see a BLD case for that.
I don't either.
It should be BLD 20-09008.
Put that in up at the top, Crystal, please.
Looking what?
Put that number that Mark just gave right there. Yeah, just put that number in there. BLD, what is it,
20.
Mark? BLD 20.
-09008.
We applied for on December the 9th.
What do you say?
And it was approved on the 11th.
So it hasn't been issued. And the amount due is how much? Scroll up a little bit, Crystal, please. Scroll up a little.
That's as high as I can go.
Do what? Stop right there. The permit fee is $103.50.
Yes, sir. I'll take care of that, yes. Would I be able to get that document so I could bring it to the young lady in the front and
You can just go downstairs and we'll take
just go downstairs?
Okay, so so still before us is that this was out of code, probably due to misunderstanding of whether the building needed to be moved or not, or whether the permit needed to be pulled. So the permit needed to be pulled. It was pulled 2 days after the Affidavit of Non-Compliance. Is that right? And then approved 4 days after the Affidavit of Non-Compliance. It just didn't get picked up or issued or whatever.
It was not paid and not issued.
Right.
So it would still be in violations.
Yep.
Technically, it's the issuance of the permit that would bring it into compliance.
As we see right now, without him having paid it, or he would have to pay it.
Well, it's looking like the only thing holding him up is the payment.
Right.
It was since it was approved, so. But technically, it's not in compliance until it's paid and the permit's issued.
Right.
Okay.
It's probably better, Jim Daney, Code Enforcement Manager for the City of Lakeland, it's probably better at this point, even though this case has been open for 13 months.
Yeah.
It's probably better at this point to just continue it till next month with the understanding that the gentleman's gonna go downstairs and pay the $103.50 and be done with it, and he'll never hear it again. But if that doesn't happen, then we would reserve the right to come back and impose the fine effective the day after the order by the hearing officer.
I understand, yeah.
The next hearing date, by the way, is February the 23rd.
Yep.
So I make a motion to continue this case to the February 23rd meeting.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gage to continue the case to the February 23rd hearing, second by Mr. Wainwright. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to continue the case to the February 23rd meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, you just need to make sure you go down there and get that permit.
Oh, absolutely, my friend. Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay. The next case is below it. Last four numbers, 0504, 918 Murcott Street. Owners are Carlos Martin, Code Enforcement Officer, Mr. Yelnick. Is someone here for, yes, okay.
Ready for you, Mr. Yelnick.
Mr. Ye-
Mark Elnick Building Inspection, case number PER 20-00504, located at 918 Murcott Street. Owners Carlos Martin. Violations Florida Building Code Section 105.1. Permits required. Date of violation is January 16th, 2020. The November 6, 2020 order stated the respondent shall have until December 7th, 2020 for total compliance, or a $50 per day fine may be imposed. Affidavit of non-compliance is effective December 7th, 2020. City recommends a fine of $50 per day effective December 7th, 2020 and run until property is in compliance. If I could add one little bit to this, there was a permit applied for, BLD 20-08877, and it was disapproved by the plans examiners on December 8th, 2020. There have been no corrections resubmitted, so the permit has not been issued at this point.
Okay. You have heard here the orders from the court. How do you state your name and then your position with the property?
Okay, I'm Italia Paez. He's my brother Carlos, but he don't speak English. I speak a little bit, and I'm going to try to help him. Okay, he received a letter to fix. He received a letter, okay, to fixing the mobile home, but they somebody giving a paper. He coming to a meeting in here on November, okay, and giving a paper that he need to fixing, to sign something, fill in some papers, and bringing before December 6th. But he bring the paper on December 4. Okay. The lady in the front, he received the paper and checked everything and say that he was okay. He given another paper that he needs to bring in and sign it to another place, and he bringing this paper back, and the lady said, it's okay, everything is okay. Somebody going to do an inspection to the mobile, and then you're going to receive a note. But he never received a note. He never received a call that somebody going to inspect the house.
So it sounds like he submitted a permit or an application for a permit, and then it was not approved.
Well, nobody said that no approved, because the lady said everything was okay.
Maybe she was saying,
that
like,
somebody going to inspect the house, and that's it. But
So-
he never received nothing, a paper or a call that somebody going to inspect, make the inspection.
When you said the lady, you were talking about someone in the permit office?
In here.
Okay.
I think she might have just been accepting the application, not necessarily okaying it. Does that make sense?
She received everything, and
Right, but just because she-
he just given this paper that he need to bring to another place, another city, and he bring it back, and that's it. And she say, everything is okay. You don't need to do nothing else. Just somebody going to doing the inspection, and that's it. But he waiting for the inspector, but he never received a letter or that he be an inspection the mobile, nothing. And now, couple days ago, he received for this meeting.
For this meeting.
Yeah, and that's it.
So was the permit
He
for
doesn't
demo?
know what he need to do now.
Right. So the permit was for demo? What was it for?
The permit was for building, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing.
Okay.
Mr. Yelnick, you said the permit was not approved
Correct. It was disapproved by the plans examiners on December 8th.
December 8th.
Because that probably requires like a licensed somebody to do it?
Plans and,
Yeah.
it sounds like you need to go meet with the permit office to find out why your plans weren't approved.
Yeah, so I'm assuming, did they send corrections and they just didn't?
But what he need to do?
Right. Well, you can't do anything right now on the property because you're red flagged, but it sounds like what you need to do at this point is go downstairs to the building department and find out why it was not approved, and then go through the process to submit plans or remedy the problems with your application. But that would, I'm correct, right?
Yeah, that's a very good recommendation. We're happy to print out the plan review, the disapproval plan review comments for you, and then please get them corrected as soon as possible.
Yeah, but you don't see nothing that say that, you know.
We send emails out, and we usually send up follow-up emails with those plan review comments. When we take the application in, we take an email address in with it.
Be able to send comments
and those comments are sent electronically.
Right.
Well, and it would be your responsibility to check up to see where that process is as well. So,
But what about the money that he need to pay?
well, you'll find out when you meet with them. You'll find out when you meet with the building department what paperwork you're missing or what plans you're missing or what the problems are. They can explain to you what you need to do next to fix the problem with your plans or the permit. So they'll explain everything to you. We don't have access to that here today.
We just see that there's work being done without a permit. Does that make sense? So that's why you got a letter to come to today's hearing, is because you were doing work without an approved permit. Right. So that's what we need is an approved permit. Otherwise.
Okay, and for the permit, I need to go in the first floor, and they doing?
Yes.
Yes.
They doing that?
Yes.
Yes.
So continue or impose and based on.
I think we can, I don't think we continue it. I think we go with the staff recommendation and then revisit it when they remedy everything.
Okay.
Because we don't know how long this will take.
So once you get the permits approved and good to go, then you need to contact, I don't know if it's Mr. Yolnick or whoever, you need to contact the city and let them know, hey, we have these permits. And he might even be able to see it in the system, but just follow up and then make sure he's checking his email for the comments of the approved. So.
And also, ask for someone down there that will speak Spanish so you can understand exactly what the process is.
Okay,
Yes. Okay.
And please ask for the plan review comments. That's what they can print out for you.
Okay.
So I make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Gage to accept staff recommendations, second by Mr. Wainwright. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 Okay, it has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendation. Thank you, ma'am and sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too.
Bottom of page 22, well, up above the bottom. Number 2761, 422 Boulger Boulevard South.
We're gonna skip over that one. You can go to the last one on the bottom page.
At the bottom of the page, 22.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 3236, last four numbers, 626 West Magnolia Street. Code Enforcement Officer Andrew Dozier. The owners are Donnell.
So we got hot links.
Andrew Dozer, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 19-03236. The address is 626 West Magnolia Street. The owner is Bridget Mack for violations of overgrowth. The date of violation was 5/7/2019. An order was put forth on 8/27/2019, stating that the respondent shall be fined $50 per day effective July 16 and run into compliance. An affidavit of compliance was filed December 10, 2020 for a total of $25,650 for 513 days of noncompliance. This time the city would recommend reducing the fines to 10%, totaling $2,565 plus administrative costs of $462.39 for a total of $3,027.39 to be paid by 7/26/2021 or revert back to the original amount.
You have heard the court's recommendation. State your name and your position.
Donna Moore, owner of the house.
Okay. You have anything to say concerning the recommendations?
Yes, one, that's not the house.
Say what?
That's not the house.
That's not the house?
No.
Is there any other pictures?
Is that the house?
Is that the house?
No.
Negative. Should be a picture of the backyard where all of the items were.
Got the wrong, the wrong case number was up there.
There was a 20.
3236.
My apologies.
That's cool. Okay.
That the one?
That is correct.
Now you have any comments?
Yes, yeah, yes. I just bought this house from Miss Bridget Mack, December 4th, correct? December 4th. I was not aware of none of this at all until she got behind in, what was Monty I got behind in? Her property taxes, which was $2,686. I had to pay that in order for her to get a house to me, which she ended up doing it. She didn't aware me with this, and when I found out was through the property taxes that I have a code enforcement bill, but it was right after December 4th, after I signed my name on it. Heck.
So you bought the property December 4th, and then Affidavit of Compliance on December 10th.
Title search.
That's right. I can bring some clarity if you'd like to what happened.
Sure.
The Miss Bridget Mack, she contacted me before the sale of the property. She informed me that she did want to sell the property and that she wanted to bring it into compliance. At that point, I went out there, walked through, explained everything that needed to be cleaned up. She did so. She said that she was going to inform the new buyers of the violation, as I told her that was the legal law that she was obligated to do. It sounds in this case that she did not do that.
Okay. Just a moment. Is this Miss Mike in the back here? No? Okay, because I saw you talking. You was going back and forth, so
She's coming for you.
whoever's speaking need to be up front, so that's why I was trying to verify that. Okay.
Sorry for interrupting. No, I end up, calling her and telling her that she does need to be here, and she say, this not my responsibility
Okay,
anymore, so
thank
I'm
you.
not coming.
It's just that you were speaking to someone there.
Yes, that's what I'm
Okay. Board?
Well,
I can speak to the law if the board wants to know. What the statute says is that if you own property and there is a pending code violation on that property, and you go to sell that property and you don't tell the person that you're selling to, the statute says that that creates a presumption of fraud in the transaction. But that is a civil matter between those two parties and their negotiations, and the board really doesn't have any role to play in that transaction. The only thing that I would say is that the board, that the action that the board is taking would be imposing a lien on the property, and the statute also says that that lien would be in the name of the violator, and we've named Bridget Mack as the party. So if the board does impose the fine, it'll be a lien against any other property that Bridget Mack might own in
this one.
in the county, and it would run against this property as well.
Yeah.
So it's discretion of the board on how they want to, on whether or not you want to impose the lien.
Wants to own up to it.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Jim Daney, Code Enforcement Manager for the City of Lakeland. Tammy was looking up some information on the sale of the property, and apparently there's something wrong in the conveyance between the new owner and the old owner.
Probably.
So it really hasn't changed hands yet,
Yeah.
in the system anyway, in the Polk County system. But I was talking to Officer Dozier too, and he said that this gentleman purchased the property and immediately
Yeah, I mean, the
cleaned it
compliance
up.
was
So,
the 10th, and he bought it on the 4th, so.
I'd like to change the city's recommendation to dismiss this with no fine, because I don't think that the gentleman should be responsible for something. I mean, it's not always like that, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, don't think this is gonna be a standard recommendation, but he cleaned it up in 4 days. So, I think the city would change the recommendation to dismiss this case with no fine.
Unless you wanted to do something different. No, you're good? Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the new staff recommendation.
Unless you want to pay the $3,000.
Yeah, it's your call, man.
I second.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright to dismiss with no fine, second by Mr. Gage. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Thank you for getting that cleaned up so quick.
Appreciate it,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you
It has
so
been.
much.
Good luck with it. Hopefully there's no more hidden things.
Next case is on page 23. The top of the page. Last 45613, 5005 North Orange Avenue. Code Enforcement Officer Chris Berry. Owners Alice K. Jenkins. Or Howard Penn. Code Enforcement Officer.
Chris Berry, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case LCE 19-05613, 5005 North Orange Avenue. Owners listed as Alice Jenkins. Violation of Ordinance 3947, Chapter 3 for the sections as listed in the agenda. Date of violation was July 30th, 2019. On January 28th, 2020, the order was the respondent shall be fined $50 per day effective January 6, 2020. Fine totaled $18,350 for 367 days of non-compliance. Affidavit of Compliance was effective January 7th, 2021. City recommends to reduce that fine down to 10% for $1,835 plus administrative costs of $394.85 for a total of $2,229.85 if paid on or before June 26, 2021.
Okay. You have heard the Code Enforcement.
Correction, July 26.
July 26, okay. State your name for the case.
My name is Howard Neal.
Okay, you have heard the officers. What do you have to say?
That is correct. So we took ownership of the property on November 18th. We were aware there was code violations against the property. We were going to rehab the property. As you can see, it's in a poor state. Sadly, the previous owner, which is Alice Jenkins, did not do anything to rectify these violations. Since taking ownership of the property in November, our family business has worked hard to get all of these issues rectified. It's taken us 51 days to do this. So what we're asking is that because we've taken the time to get this done so promptly, and it's been a priority of ours as part of our rehab of the property, that we'd like the fines reduced to the 51 days that we have taken ownership of the property.
Jim? Jim?
Board?
You would like the fines reduced to what?
To the 51 days. So we purchased the property on November the 18th. It took us 51 days to rectify the issues, like we had to put a new roof in. There was a lot of things that need to be done to this property. So it's taken us 51 days to rectify all the issues. And we're asking that our fines be reduced to the 51 days that we have ownership of the property and at the time it took us to rectify those issues.
So this is where it gets trickier because
Fines
just
will start till the 6th.
well, no. So he's saying
50,
instead of going from July 30th, 2019, he wants it to go from 11, whatever 20.
11/18 is when
Yeah.
we took ownership, and the inspection was done on January the 17th. Sorry, 7th. So that was the 51 days. That's where the 51 days. So that was as far as our non-compliance as the new owners. Like I said, we were aware of the code of violations. What we weren't aware of was the associated fines, or the daily fines associated with those code enforcement. However, we're willing to take responsibility for the ownership that we've had and the time we took to rectify those problems.
So doing that, the fine is still, over $2,000, and then the staff's recommendation for this was a 90% reduction to 10%. So if we just reduced it to the 51 days, you know, it's still, it's actually more.
Yeah.
Unless the city, unless the city, well, because they reduced it 10% or 90% to 10% of.
So I was reading it the other way, they was reducing by 10%.
Right,
So,
yeah.
so I accept that.
Yeah.
Is that, so that's okay.
So it sounds like staff recommendation is
A little bit nicer.
It's fair.
it's good.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation for this case.
Second.
It's a motion by Mr. Gage, second by Mr. Wainwright to accept staff's recommendation. How do we vote?
No.
Yes.
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 Motion has been accepted, voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendation. Thank you, sir. Next case, page 24, middle of the page, 7464, 2503 North Florida Avenue. Code Enforcement Officer Stephen Willis, owner Montero Gisela. Code Enforcement Officer Stephen Willis.
Stephen Willis, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland. Case number is LC 19-07464. Address is 2503 North Florida Avenue. Owner is listed as Gisela G. Montero. Violation is ordinance 3947, Chapter 3, Section 307.4. Overgrowth, open storage, and junk. Date of violation was October 2nd, 2019. The January 28th, 2020 order was the respondent shall be fined $50 per day effective December 17th, 2019 until compliance is met. Fine totals $18,000 for 360 days of noncompliance. An affidavit of compliance was effective December 11th, 2020. City recommends 10% of the original fine, which is $1,800, plus admin cost of $397.11, for a total of $2,197.11 to be paid by July 26, 2021, or revert to the original amount.
Okay. You have heard the recommendation. State your name.
My name is Kenny Montero.
Okay.
And my wife actually owns this property. And if this is for all the overgrowth, she actually got, the whole property has been totally cleaned.
Okay.
All the, all the trees, they sent us a letter saying that there was some dead trees on the property. So if you go by there, everything is completely wiped out.
It's
It
in,
looks
yeah,
great.
it's in compliance, but, so the issue is that the time that it wasn't. So that's what the fine would be.
Well, yeah, that's when COVID hit and all that good stuff, and she was going through a little bit of hardship, but then she was able to get the funds to get everything taken care of. So we would like, if possible, give us a break on that.
Make a motion that we accept staff's recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Berryon to accept the staff recommendation, second by Mr. Duke. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
It has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendation. Thank you, sir.
Go out this way. So you go out this way, you want to go upstairs. They'll send us something.
Page 26 at the bottom of the page.
We'll hear that with the summaries. That, they signed a summary, so the officer will do that.
Okay. That's the last one.
We have one gentleman out there.
Is there someone else
Yeah, there's
here?
2 more, it looks like.
641.
If they came in late, they may need to be sworn in again. I don't.
Were either of you sworn in?
Andrew. Do you have a case? Were you here to be sworn in? Okay, can you please raise your right hand? Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can go up here.
What's the
It's on
address?
the bottom of page 13 at 641 West 6th Street.
I'm on page 13. 1239, last four of the case, 641 West 6th Street. Vermont LLC is the owners. Andrew Dozier is the code enforcement officer. Mr. Dozier.
Andrew Dozier, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 20-01239. The address is 641 West 6th Street. The owner is Vermont LLC for violations of interior and exterior violations. The date of violation was 2/17/2020. An order was put forth on 12/11/2020 that the respondent shall have until January 10, 2021 for total compliance or a $50 per day fine be imposed. An affidavit of non-compliance was filed on 1/11/2021. At this time, the city would recommend imposing a fine of $50 per day effective 1/11/2021 and run until brought into compliance.
Okay, you have heard the recommendations from the court. State your name and your position with the property.
Hello, my name is Eric Spivey. I'm a licensed real estate broker here on behalf of the owner. And I'm just respectfully requesting 90 days to bring this into compliance. On January 5th, we realized that Mr. Dozier wanted permits pulled for a lot of the items. On January 6th, the owner hired a contractor, and that contractor contacted Mr. Dozier. On January 7th, Mr. Dozier met with the contractor on site to point out the items that needed the permit pulled. And on January 8th, the contractor started the process of registering with the City of Lakeland to be able to pull the permit. They have never done work in the City of Lakeland, so they have to do that. And from January 5th, when we realized permits needed to be pulled, to January 8th, working with Mr. Dozier, we met with him, the contractor met with him, and the past 2 weeks, they've been working on getting their paperwork submitted to the city so then they can then file the permit. So we're requesting 90 days for her to register, file for the permits, get them all inspected, and then close this case out.
Well, I just think because the case had been in violation.
For a year almost.
Yeah, since February of 2020, I'm less inclined to.
If I may add something in there, I notified the owner of the property, had to dig through some information, got a hold of him and let him know that I was opening up a case. He told me just send him the letter.
Yeah.
So he's known since the very first day that the case was open.
Right, and I'm happy that there's progress being made, so hopefully the fines, don't last that long because you guys can make quick work of it. It does look like there's a lot though. But my motion is going to be to accept the staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion has been made to the staff, accept the staff recommendations by Mr. Wainwright and second by Ms. Berrien. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
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 Okay, it has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendation. Thank you. Do we have one more?
One more.
Sir,
What's your address?
940 Marietta Street.
Sonny or Mark? 940 Marietta. It's either Sonny or Mark.
Sonny's. You can go right there.
What page?
What page is it, Tammy?
Page 11.
Thank you.
Okay.
At the top.
Okay, 8963, last four numbers, 940 Marietta Street. Owner Michael Garcia. Code Enforcement Officer Ms. Marshall.
Saniqua Marshall, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland. This is for LCE 19-08963 at 940 Marietta Street. The owner is Michael Garcia. The violations are for ordinance 3947, and the date of violation was December 9th, 2019, and a summary disposition was signed, giving the respondent until December 6th to comply. An affidavit of non-compliance was effective on December 7th, 2020. Photos taken on January 20th, 2020 shows that the violation still exists. 2021, sorry, excuse me. The city recommends to impose the fine of $30 a day, effective December 7th, 2020, and run until compliance is met.
Okay. You have heard the court's recommendation. State your name
Edwin Sandoval, property manager.
and your
Edwin Sandoval,
It might need you to, you good?
do you own the property or what's your position?
property manager.
Property manager.
Okay. What do you have to say?
A lot of that's already been complied with. We didn't know if we can go back. That trim there. Wait a second. We didn't know about that trim. We thought it was another piece. If we can go back, that there, we just covered it. It just hasn't been painted. So if they're referring to the paint that it
Yeah,
needs.
paints, yep.
Okay. That there has been already installed.
Probably paint.
If I recall correctly, the fascia has been taken care of.
The only thing that remains are the photos that were taken on January 20th.
Okay, which we weren't aware of, that one right
Yes.
there, which no problem, we'll get that. So it's basically that trim right there?
Yes, sir.
Is what it
And
is?
also the board that's at the bottom where the skirting exists needs to be repaired. So I did speak with Mr. Garcia about what needed to be done. If you like, I can speak with you after the hearing and we can
Okay.
discuss it just to make sure that you're clear.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay, board?
I mean, I think I'll still make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion has been made to accept staff recommendation by Mr. Wainwright, second by Ms. Varian. We have vote?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendation. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can you state your name for the record for?
Edwin Sandoval,
Edmund.
EDWIN SANDOVAL.
Perfect, thank you.
Madam Chair, I ask for excuse for the rest of the proceedings. I gotta go back to work. I got like 10 Zoom meetings going on right now. See ya.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Mr. Corbin has been asked to be excused. Do we accept that?
Yep.
Yeah,
We're good.
Hey,
Take care.
give me an email when you get a chance.
Yep. Gotcha.
Okay. Do we have any more?
Take care, man.
So, in case
Oh,
you
Mr.
have summaries,
Brian might need to, yeah.
let me see where you are. This one's gonna have to be presented.
70/50
Are we good to let Mr. Dig go?
consideration.
Yes.
If you just want to tell us where you're at.
Brian, I am case number LCE 18-08153. Brian Dick, City of Lakeland Parks and Recreation.
What page are you on?
Sorry.
Page 4.
Okay.
The address is 4243 South Florida Avenue. Owners are Palm Center Associates, LLC. Violation, ordinance 5425, section 4.5.10.4, preservation of city street trees, and section 4.5.11.4, maintenance of landscaping. Date of violation was 11/28/2018. It was brought into compliance on 2/28/2020. Accumulated fines of $18,800. Staff's recommendation is to reduce to 10% or $1,480 plus administrative costs of $357.48 for a total of $1,837.48. And if not paid by 7/26/21, or I'm sorry, no, just forget that.
Gotcha, yeah. I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Mr. Gage to accept staff recommendation. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
it has been voted and approved to accept staff recommendation.
Did you say that it was a summary?
Summary disposition.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. No, that was dismissed from the file.
Next,
Hey, who's gonna,
that's it.
hey, when you call it out, tell what page it's on.
Okay.
Who's going? Okay, you can go.
Mark Yelnick Building Inspection, page number 6. Case PER 18-07050, located at 147 Carolyn Drive. This is a case of reconsideration. The owners are Candace Bratwell and Roger Mitchell David. Violation is for Florida Building Code 105.1. Permits required. Date of violation is 9/21/2018. We'd like to dismiss this case with the amount paid.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
And here's the second. Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
The dead heat.
second dead heat between Ms. Barryon and Mr. Duke. It's dead heat. Okay, how do we vote?
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
it has been voted and approved to accept staff recommendation. Next,
Mark Yelnick Building Inspection, case PER 19-08950, located at
Wait,
one,
what page? What page?
page 20.
When? 20?
Mm-hmm.
Page 20. Sorry, Tim.
You're good.
Case PER 19-08950, located at 1940 East Main Street.
okay.
I'd like to dismiss this case with no fine.
Make a motion to accept staff's recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Gage. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
it has been voted and approved to accept staff recommendation. Next,
Mark Yelnick Building Inspection, page 26. Case PER 18-02361, located at 731 Woodward Street. The owners are Lewis Dennis and Lewis Jennifer. Violations for Florida Building Code 105.1, permits required. They just signed a summary disposition to pay the total, the 10% plus administrative costs, for a total of $3,067.06 to be paid by July 26, 2021.
Make a motion to accept staff recommendation.
motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Duke. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 Yes,
Hey,
Yes.
we got one on page 8, it's the bottom.
it has been voted and approved
Page 8,
8.
to accept staff recommendation.
it's a new case.
Page 8,
Since it's a new case, it has to be heard.
Mark Yelnick Building Inspection, case PER 20-01375, located at 1038 West 10th Street. Owners are Real Pro Investments Group, LLC. Violations Florida Building Code 105.1, permits required. Violation date is February 24 of 2020. City recommends a $50 per day fine effective February 25th, 2021, and run until the property is in compliance.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Ms. Barryon. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
it has been voted and approved to accept staff recommendation.
Yeah, it is, it's a new case.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
He has until February to get the fine.
My first case is on page 3. It is 604 East Garden Street, 02397. Stephen Willis, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland. Case number is LCE 17-02397. Address is 604 East Garden Street, number 3. Owner is listed as Fifth Third Mortgage Company. The respondent took summary disposition on December 10th, 2020. City recommends 10% of the total fine, which is $5,095 plus administrative costs of $632.62, for a fine total of $5,727.62 to be paid by July 26, 2021, or revert to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Gage. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept staff recommendation.
The next case is on page 15. It's the second one from the bottom, 01785 1219 Buena Drive.
Okay.
Stephen Willis, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland. Case number is LCE 20-01785. Address is 1219 Buena Drive. Owner is listed as Michael Christopher Frederick and Alyssa Michelle Frederick. City recommends to dismiss this case with no fine.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Duke. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept staff recommendation. Next.
And that's it for me.
Okay, thank you.
This will be on page 7 at the top.
7.
It's at 215 West Belmar Street.
Okay.
The case is this is Officer Sonny Marshall with the City of Lakeland Code Enforcement, and this is for LCE 19-07590 at 215 West Belmar Street. And this case, we recommend to continue to the February 23rd Code Enforcement Board.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Duke to accept staff recommendation. Okay, how do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept staff recommendation. Thank you.
Welcome. The next page is 9 at the top. The address is 333 Palencia Place. Officer Sonny Marshall with the City of Lakeland Code Enforcement. The case is LCE 19-00912, 333 Palencia Place. We recommend to continue this case to the February 23rd, 2021 Code Enforcement Board.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Mr. Berrios to continue the case to the February 23rd. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendations.
Next page is on 18. And the address is 842 South New York Avenue.
Okay.
Code Enforcement Officer Staniqua Marshall. This is for case LCE 20-02839 at 842 South New York Avenue. And we recommend to dismiss this case with no fine.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Duke. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendations. Next.
And the last one is on page 22. And the address is 422 Boger Boulevard South. Staniqua Marshall, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland. This is for LCE 19-02761 at 422 Boger Boulevard South. The owner listed is Cameron Waddell, David Waddell, A estate of. The violations for ordinance 4134, derelict vehicle. The owner signed a summary disposition agreeing to pay the administrative costs of $420.46 by July 26, 2021, or revert to the original amount of $25,600.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Ms. Berryon. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 The motion has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendation. Thank you, ma'am.
Top of page 8. Chris Berry, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case LCE 20-00668 at 5517 Los Serena Avenue. Owner is Roland Rogers. Violation of Ordinance 3947, Chapter 3 for overgrowth, open storage, and junk. Date of violation was January 24th, 2020. The last order was this case was continued to the January 26th, 2021 Code Enforcement Board. City's recommendation is compliance by February 5th, 2021, or $50 per day fine be imposed.
Make a motion to accept the staff's recommendation.
Motion by Ms. Berryon,
Second.
second by Mr. Wainwright. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept staff recommendation.
Next case is towards the bottom of page 24.
24,
24.
okay.
Chris Berry, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case LCE 19-07972, 4825 Puritan Lane. City recommends to dismiss this case with no fine.
A motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Gage. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendation.
Top of page 19.
19,
What page?
19.
okay.
It's case LCE 20-03804, the address 4075 Lakeland Highlands Road. The owner is Lake Scott LLC, LFT Development Company LLC. The property owner signed summary disposition agreeing to the city's recommendation. The property came into compliance on January 19th of 2021. Fine totals $1,400 for 28 days. The summary agreement was to reduce this to 10%, which is $140 plus administrative cost of $252.70 for a total of $392.70 to be paid by July the 26th, 2021, or revert back to the original amount.
A motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Ms. Berryon. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendations. Next,
The third case down on that same page.
okay.
It's case LCE 20-03986, the address 4918 Fox Run Place. The city would recommend that case be dismissed with no fine.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Ms. Berryon. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendation.
Bottom of page 23.
Okay.
This is case LCE 19-05847, the address 1304 South Florida Avenue. The owner is Summer A. Williams Children Trust. The owner did take summary disposition agreeing to the city's recommendation, which is to reduce the fine to 10%, which is $2,035 plus administrative cost of $448.37 for a total of $2,483.37 to be paid by July the 26th, 2021, or revert back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Ms. Berryon. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendation. Next case.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to be the top of page 5.
Okay.
Top of page where? 9?
5.
Top of page 5.
5, okay.
Second one down.
Okay. Mr. Dozier.
Andrew Dozer, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 19-03413. The address is 707 North Virginia Ave. The owner is USA ISP LLC. The violations are for exterior housing. Date of violation was 5/14/2019. An order was put forth February 25th, 2020, that the case should be dismissed upon payment of $3,000. A request for reconsideration was applied for. At this time, we have a signed summary for 10%, totaling $300 plus administrative costs of $278.18 for a total of $578.18 to be paid by 7/26/2021 or reverts back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Gage. Is a
just
dead
messing
heat
with you.
between Mr. Gage and Mr. Duke. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendation. Next.
Thank you. Same page all the way at the bottom.
Okay.
Andrew Dozer, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 19-07517. The address is 707 North Virginia Ave. Owner is USA ISP LLC for violations of overgrowth. Date of violation was 10/2/2019. This time we have a summary signed for a reduced fine of 10%, equaling $820 plus administrative costs of $373.80 for a total of $1,193.80 to be paid by 7/26/2021 or reverts back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Gage. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendation.
Thank you. Page 25 in the middle.
Okay. Okay.
Andrew Dozer, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number LCE 20-02037. The address is 707 West 9th Street. The owner is Shirley A. Williams for violations of care of premises. Date of violation was 3/12/2020. An order was put forth on 12/11/2020 that the respondent shall have until December 21st, 2021 for total compliance or a $50 per day fine be imposed. At this time, we have the property has been brought into compliance as of January 4, 2021, and we have a signed summary of reduced fines of 10% equals $65 plus administrative fees of $313.21 for a total of $378.21 to be paid by 7/26/2021 or reverts back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Ms. Berryon. How we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
All right, we'll make it easy. All of page 2.
All of page 2, all right. Okay,
All right.
Mr. Covey.
Daniel Povey, Code Enforcement Officer for City of Lakeland, case number 111-000-512-0488. Address is 1135 Roselle Avenue. Owner is Mary S. Miller for violations of derelict property board. Date of the violation was 12/14/2005. Order of the violation was June 27th, 2006. And the respondent has taken summary disposition with the city recommends 10% at $250, admin costs of $233.91 for a total of $483.91 to be paid by July 26, 2021, or revert back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Gage. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendations. Next.
Daniel Povey, Code Enforcement Officer for City of Lakeland, case number 111-000-613329. Address is 1135 Roselle Avenue. Owner is Mary S. Miller. The violation is care of premises. The date of the violation is November 2nd, 2006. The order of the violation was 11/27/2007. The respondent has taken summary disposition. City recommends 10% at $1,220. Admin costs of $331.83 for a total of $1,551.83 to be paid by July 26, 2021, or revert back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Ms. Berrien. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendation. Next.
Daniel Povey, Code Enforcement Officer for City of Lakeland, case number 111-000-611-3332. Address is 1135 Roselle Avenue. Owner is Mary S. Miller. Violation is zoning. Date of the violation was November 2nd, 2006. To the order date was June 26, 2007. Respondents taken summary disposition at the city's recommendation of 10% at $460. Admin costs of $250.23 for a total of $710.23 to be paid by July 26, 2021, or revert back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Ms. Berrien. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendations. Next.
Daniel Povey, Code Enforcement Officer for City of Lakeland, case number 112-010-405-060. Address is 1502 Amos Avenue. Owner is Brett Alexandra Lamons, ETAL. A violation is for zoning. The date of the violation is May 28th, 2004. The order of the violation is October 25th, 2005. The city recommends, or the respondent has taken summary disposition, and the city recommends of admin costs only at $408.91 to be paid by July 26, 2021, or revert back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Gage. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendation. Next.
Daniel Povey, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland, case number 112-010-406609. Address is 1502 Amos Avenue. Owners are Brett Alexandra Lamons, Ralph Lamons Jr., Yolanda Jenna Lamons. The violation is for lot clearing code board. The date of the violation is 06/18/2004. The order of the violation is 12/18/2007. Respondent signed summary disposition. The city recommends recommends admin costs only at $1,105.94 to be paid by July 26, 2021, or revert back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Wainwright, second by Mr. Gage. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendations.
And page 3,
Page 2,
most of them on that page.
okay.
Daniel Povey, Code Enforcement Officer for City of Lakeland, case number 112-100-04336. Address is 1502 Amos Avenue. Owner is Brett Alexandra Lamons. The violation is care of premises. Date of the violation is 03/31/2000. The order of the violation is 09/27/2005. The respondent has signed summary disposition, and the city recommends admin costs only at $637.39 by July 26, 2021, or revert back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Mr. Gage. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendation.
All right, Daniel Povey, Code Enforcement Officer for City of Lakeland, case number 112-101-01977. Address is 1502 Amos Avenue. Owners are Brett Alexandra Lamons. Violation is inoperable unlicensed vehicle or derelict vehicle. Date of the violation is January 25th, 2001. Order of the violation is 09/27/2005. The respondent has signed summary disposition, and the city recommends admin costs only at $196.75 to be paid by July 26, 2021, or revert back to the original amount.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright, second by Ms. Berryon. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendation.
Bottom of page 3.
Okay.
Daniel Povey, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Lakeland. Case number LCE 18-02016. Address is 836 West 13th Street. The owners are Joanne McGarry. Violation is ordinance 5425, section 4-1-1, or 4.4.1, fence conditions. The date of the violation is 04/04/18. The order of the violation is January 28th, 2020. The respondent has signed summary disposition to extend the payment deadline to January 26, 2022.
Motion to accept staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Mr. Duke. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the staff recommendations.
And I believe that's all.
That's all. Okay, thank
That's all,
you,
folks.
sir.
Thank you.
Okay. For reconsiderations, the motion so ordered for the cases on pages 2 through 6 in which the respondents did not appear is to deny reconsideration.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Wainwright, second by Ms. Berryon. How do we vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay. It is voted and approved. There's nothing under new. Okay, for the motion so considered, I don't see one for the new, nothing new?
Did we go through all the new cases?
Okay.
Maybe?
Huh?
Have a safe trip, man.
Thanks.
Good luck for your mom.
Appreciate that.
No, I don't see anything.
I guess we heard all the new cases, I guess.
Cases continued. The motion so ordered for the cases on pages 9 through 21, in which the respondents did not appear and are not in compliance, is that the fines be imposed as stated in the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Wainwright,
Second.
second by Ms. Berryon. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. It has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendations. For the cases dismissed with fine, the motion so ordered for the cases on pages 22 through 26, in which the respondents did not appear, is to dismiss with fines as listed in the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Wainwright, second by Ms. Berryon. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved that we accept the staff recommendations. Dismissed with no fine. The motion so ordered for the cases on page 27 through 31 that are now in compliance is to dismiss with no fine.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Wainwright, second by Ms. Berrien. How do we vote?
Yes.
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 It has been voted and approved to accept the recommendations of the staff. Dismiss with no fine. The motion so ordered for the cases on pages 27 through 31 that are now in compliance is to dismiss with no
We
fine.
just did that, right?
Did I do that?
I think we did that one.
Okay. That's it. If there is no more case, oh, it's over.